Welcome to Spacecraft Guide, the channel that goes over the most iconic spacecraft in the world. In this issue of Spacecraft Guide, we're going to continue our work on the lunar lander, our lunar module, specifically on panel 12, which is communication, and doing a switch, the VHF A Squelch Thumbwheel. And what this switch does is basically it takes out the static. You know, when you're tuning in a radio and you hear all that static, well, you can turn to a frequency and then you can adjust the radio so you can get the static out and still hear the music or the voices or whatever is on that channel. And that's what this switch did. So if you click on the VHF A Squelch Thumbwheel, it takes you to the VHF A Squelch Thumbwheel page. Now this thumbwheel goes from 1 down to 10, and you increase it as the number goes up. And what this switch, this thumbwheel does is it adjusts the threshold level of received VHF alpha audio signal. So the static that you hear on your radio, well, this actually cuts that out, and by going up, you cut out the static. As you come down, it makes it so more static comes on, and increasing the squelch allows you to separate the static out from the voice, so you don't hear that in your ears the whole time. It cuts that out. The bad news about that is if there is the signal is very weak, you won't be able to hear it. So let's go in to see how that worked on the schematic side. And in the schematics, we see the squelch is right here. This squelch detector and amplifier. So what happens is the VHF alpha duplexers and transmit receive relays get some information here, and it goes to the first amplifier, first RF amplifier, then it goes to the second amplifier. We're building the signal up, and then we get the power returns from the other transmit receive relays, goes into a multiplier, and all of those are mixed in here, and then again it gets amplified. And again, all through here we're amplifying the signal. So now we've taken a very weak signal, made it a lot stronger, but it's made a lot of static. So after it goes through the third amplifier, it comes in to the squelch detector. Now here are where the VHF alpha and Bravo switches are. So in the alpha, this is the one we're worried about. That when we increase the squelch, that's going to change the amount of static that's in the signal. It's going to eliminate all the really weak transmission, something that the amplifier has to work out. It cuts that out. And then that signal comes back through here into the squelch gate and then back out into another audio amplifier, which goes to the EMU and your data channel and also your the channel alpha. So that's where the signal comes out that you can hear. So it's very complex what happens in this amplifier. You have to break that out, and that's a whole new section all by itself. But here you see all the components that takes a signal and then amplifies it up to a point that you can hear it, and then takes out the static and then sends it to anyone who wants to hear. So in a nutshell, that is how squelch works. I hope you enjoyed this week, and please do not forget to like, share, and follow us on our YouTube channel. That's all for this week. If you would like to use this interactive virtual reality exhibit on the command module, the lunar module, and the surface of the moon, just go to our Patreon page, and the link will be down below.